So for the topic of today, we will learn comparisons, how to compare one option with another option. For example, this circle is smaller than this. This square is bigger than this one. And this shape is the biggest of these three. So these comparisons, we call them comparatives and superlatives in English. And we have a few rules to build these comparisons. When I have two options to compare, I use comparatives. And I build them adding an E and an R at the end of the adjective. For example, poor, poorer. I use also a connector between the two options. This connector is than. Is than. For example, the square is bigger than the other. The square is bigger than the other. This is a comparative sentence. With superlatives, the story is different. With superlatives, I am comparing multiple options and I am choosing one. With superlatives, I compare multiple options, but I choose only one. The superior choice. The superior choice. The choice with the level up of the others. For example, to build a superlative, I add est to the adjective. Est to the adjective and the article the.
For example,
this is the biggest shape of the three. The biggest. Poor, the poorest. What means poor, class?
Pobre. Pobre.
The opposite of rich. The poorest.
Teacher, I can say that
Can I say?
Can I say to this is the smallest shape of the tree?
Yes.
To refer the smallest.
This is the small. To build the superlative, I add est to the adjective. The and the article the. This is the smallest shape of the three.
Teacher, ever need the article D?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We always need it because without it, the sentence will not have the same meaning. However, in some context, in books, in magazines, we can find superlatives and comparatives without the connector than, and without the connector and without the article. And we will know that it's a comparison between two options if it's comparative, or the highest option, the best option if it's superlative. Let me give you an example.
In this case, only need than.
Comparatives only need than. When I have a general sentence with two options. For example, talking about the cities of the world, talking about the cities of the world, the Vatican is the smallest.
Superlative.
Superlative, right?
But the Vatican is the biggest, or no, is the smallest country in the world.
Yes, you need a passport just because the Catholic Church wants.
Yes, but it's true.
So let's go to the syllabus vocabulary and we will learn some rules because we have different kind of adjectives. First rule. We have adjectives of one syllable. Adjectives of one syllable, like poor, proud, poor, proud. We have short, fast, and old. One syllable. These are general adjectives of one syllable. For these ones, I add ER at the end of the adjective. This is the general rule. And the article and EST if it's superlative. General rule, one syllable, adjectives of one syllable. Proud, prouder. The proudest. Shorter, the shortest. Faster, the fastest. Older, the oldest. Next rule. We have again adjectives of one syllable, but the difference is that these adjectives end in the letter E. In the letter E, such as wise, with, fine, sorry, here is wide, fine, cute, large. As you can see, here is a consonant, here is a consonant, 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 and consonant. For these ones, we only add the rest of the letters to build a superlative. On this case, only adding the R and ST in the case of superlative. Because we already have an E, so we don't need to add a double E. We only add the rest of the letters to build the comparative and superlative. Next rule. We have adjectives of one syllable, but they end in consonant, vowel, and consonant, like a sandwich. Like a sandwich where the bread is a consonant and the meat it's a vowel. Hot, big, fat, thin. Aquí está el sándwich, miren. Consonante, vocal, consonante. Como si fuera un sándwich donde la vocal es la carne. Make sense? For these adjectives of one syllable, we duplicate the last letter and we add ER if it's comparative and EST if it's superlative. Hotter, the hottest. Bigger, the biggest. Fatter, the fattest. Thinner, the thinnest.
uh, only duplicate the last consonant.
Yes, only the last consonant and add the rest of the story. ER if it's comparative or EST if it's superlative. Next rule, we have adjectives ending in Y as Yankee, like pretty, crazy, happy, ugly, busy, busy, no bossy, busy, ending in Y. As you can see, these adjectives are not one syllable. They have two syllables and beyond. Pretty, crazy, happy, ugly. For these adjectives, we take out the Y, boop, 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 and we change it for an E. E en español, I in inglés. For an I. And we add ER if it's comparative, EST if it's superlative. Prettier, the prettiest. Crazier, the craziest. Happier, the happiest. Uglier, the ugliest. Busy, busier, the busiest. And the next rule, when we have two or more adjectives with two or more syllables, adjectives with two or more syllables, such as beautiful, expensive, intelligent, handsome, and confused. On these adjectives, I will add an extra word to build a comparative. This word is more beautiful, more expensive, more intelligent, only with adjectives of more than two syllables.
Before the word more.
Yes. And for superlative, I will add the most. the most beautiful, the most expensive, the most intelligent, the most handsome, the most confused. And with this rule, we need to be careful because in Spanish, we have false friend alert for this one. A false friend alert. Because in Spanish, it's common to say, esto es más fácil que esto. O esto es lo más fácil que he hecho en mi vida. Eso lo decimos siempre en español. But in English, easy is not an adjective of more than 2 syllables. Oh, yes, teacher, you know, the test was more easy than other tests. Oh, yes, teacher. It was the most easy. No. It's easier and the easiest. So be careful with choosing each adjective. More than 2 syllables. More than 2 syllables, we add the extra word. Less than 2 syllables, no. Makes sense? Oh, yes, teacher. My house is more big than another house that I have. No. It's bigger than. You know, I have a girlfriend, but she was more pretty. No. She was prettier than my ex-girlfriend.
She was prettier. One of them, my 10 girls.
Prettier than La Ciguanaba. Okay. So, and the last rule for these adjectives, of course, we have irregulars. Irregulars never follow the rules. We have good, comparative of good, better. The best. Bad, worse, the worst. Far, we have two options. Farther or further, with comparative, and the farthest or the furthest. Both are correct, both are common. Irregular adjectives. Questions with the rules?
Teacher, I don't understand the last part.
The irregulars? Remember that irregulars never follow any rule. They write different and they are pronounced different. So with irregulars, there is not much that we can do, only memorize them. For example, the adjective good, we say my English is better than my English last years ago. I have the best friend in the world. So we are referring to the adjective good. And it's not gooder or the goodest because it's irregular. Irregulars never follow rules. The same in past tense with irregular verbs. There is not much that we can do with them because they are special cases.
Teacher, excuse me, the irregulars only 3 or all irregulars?
No, we have more. We have more. These are the most common ones. Good, bad, far.
Wow. Okay, and that is the comparative and the superlatives.
Comparative and superlative. For example, my score was worse than last month. My
Yes.
test score was worse than last month. Mi nota, mi calificación fue peor que la del mes pasado. And I can say, this is the worst score I ever had. No es the baddest or the badder. They don't follow the general rule. That's why they are irregulars.
Okay.
You're welcome. So,